So I'm going to call this story A Tale of Two Christmases. And it's a story about two completely different travel methods going home for Christmas, but with remarkably similar travel times. So I believe it was my sophomore year in college, so of course I went to Bemidji State, which is in far north and then in central Minnesota, and Uncle Joel went to University of North Dakota, which is in Grand Forks, North Dakota, which is on the eastern border of North Dakota. And so anyway, so the first story of Christmas is I think it was my sophomore year. Mama and Papa, they had moved back to Alabama about a year and a half before that, and so basically you're going from quite far north to quite far south in the U.S. I don't know how far that trip is, but I'm gonna say 1400. I should have researched this. 1,400 miles maybe. So anyway, so they pay for us to go on the bus, to ride the dog, to take the Greyhound, and so somehow or another we get to Minneapolis. I don't know how. I can't remember how, but somehow we get to Minneapolis. Maybe we rode the bus. Now that I think about it, maybe we rode the bus from. I may have gone to. I can't remember. But anyway, somehow we got to Minneapolis, and so the way the bus works is, and this is probably considered a quote express, but so it's Minneapolis to Chicago. I want to say Chicago to Indianapolis, maybe Indianapolis, then to probably Nashville. No, but probably Atlanta, and then finally to. I don't know if it actually took us to Gadsden or it took us to Birmingham, and they had to come pick us up. But nonetheless, this bus trip, and by the way, there's no rest. You were on the bus for the entire time. I mean, except, at bus stops, they'd give you a time, a half hour, 45 minutes, whatever it may be, if you want to get something to eat or whatever. And something to eat in the bus station, Burger King must have had as a contract with Greyhound, because I think every place we stopped in the bus station, you got your choice of Burger King or Burger King. And if you didn't like Burger King, then you could have Burger King. But anyway, so it was the 36-hour trip. Fortunately, I like to read, and so at least I could do that. But it was a long trip. So that was the tale of Christmas the first. Now, tale of Christmas the second. The following year, Mama and Papa all sprang for airplane tickets for us to fly from Minneapolis to Birmingham for Christmas. And again, somehow because I know we left from Minneapolis, and somehow we got to Minneapolis. Don't know how. Uncle Joel, please feel free to put in the comments if you remember how we got to Minneapolis. I do remember, it seems to me, that we stayed at a friend of Uncle Joel's who was from the Twin Cities. So the night before our airplane left, we stayed at their house, and I think I slept on like a fold-out couch in the basement. I don't remember for sure. No, it's funny. That should have been kind of a big deal, but I remember some of the silliest little trivial things from when I was a kid, but then I can't remember that from when I was in college. But anyway, so the day that we go to travel, we're in Minneapolis, and twice we should have known that things were bad to begin with, because twice we pulled out from the gate. No, sorry, they de-iced us. We pulled out from the gate, then we pulled back into the gate, and they de-iced us again. It is not a good plan when there's so much snow coming down that they have to de-ice you twice before you can take off. Anyhow, so we take off, we get to Chicago. A flight Minneapolis-Chicago, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours at the top, but I think it's more like an hour and a half. And so then we get to Chicago, and it's a zoo. I mean, horrible blizzard outside, snow, flight after flight canceled, flight canceled. So, oh, and by the way, Aunt Karen was with us on this trip. So anyway, so we're stuck in O'Hare Airport in Chicago. There's not a whole lot to do, and we're there, I want to say, for a whole day, maybe more than a day. But finally, we did get a flight from Chicago to Atlanta, or maybe Chicago to Birmingham, because the weather cleared and they got us out. There's not a whole lot to tell, right? I mean, most everybody who's watching this has been stuck in an airport, so you know what it is. You're sitting on the floor, you're eating horrible food that's not good for you, you're trying to sleep in uncomfortable places, worried somebody's going to steal your stuff. You know, you walk around because there's nothing else to do, all that sort of stuff like that. And of course, you know, not to mention when you're college students, it's not like you can say, hey, let's go get a hotel room and let's take a taxi to a hotel room so at least we can sleep in a bed. You know, you don't do that stuff either. But anyway, my whole point behind my Tales of Two Christmases is that when it was all said and done, that our flying trip, again, took almost exactly 36 hours. So remarkably similar travel times and remarkably different travel methods. Okay, love you. Thanks for watching.